All right, I want to read you something that I saw the other day. Um, with everything that's going on with Russia right now and the possibility of them giving the North Koreans nukes and the possibility of us doing something stupid or somebody else doing something stupid and launching. Um, I want to read something that I saw that kind of has to do with that. Um, it's like a what if sort of thing. So here it goes. How does a nuclear attack work? It takes around 30 minutes from Russian missile fields over the North Pole, re entering the atmosphere over Canada before arriving at U.S. targets. 30 minutes. U.S. satellites would detect the infrared from the exhaust plumes of the missile's boost phase within 10 to 15 seconds. NORAD uses a double detection system of verification, so a few more seconds will go by. For example, telemetry from the climbing missile is detected. Then it will appear as launch detection, and the response will occur. The president will be informed of the size of the incoming strike package and can issue orders to strike back. This probably takes around 15 minutes. In the meantime, the Russian ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, had left the atmosphere, discarded its nose cone, and released its warhead, a carrier for the MIRVs that sit on it. This will have made some minor course corrections depending upon its program targets, and it's now cruising silently over the Arctic cap. Some 25 minutes after launch was detected, the bus, or that warhead, arrives over northern Canada. Small rockets fire to orient it at different targets. At each point, a MIRV is released. The now empty warhead then tries to make a nuisance of itself by ejecting decoys and trying to spoof detection systems. With only a few minutes to go, each MIRV, glowing hot from re-entry and decelerating from air friction, is making its way over the Great Lakes and into U.S. airspace. Down below, there is frantic activity. Some are trying to flee, some to hunker down behind whatever protection they can find, but 30 minutes really isn't that long at all. Perhaps the husband is trying to get back to his family from work. Perhaps a wife was round at her mother's. Perhaps the kids are at school. Once the MIRV reaches around 5,000 meters over its intended target, it detonates with around 550 kiloton yield from the thermonuclear device inside. The flash will blind anyone who looks directly at it at close range. Within a kilometer, prompt X-rays will vaporize anything that has water content. Humans are mostly water. An expanding blast wave will completely flatten every building within 2 kilometers, substantially damage anything out to 5 kilometers, and blow out windows up to 10 kilometers away. The PSI overpressure will crush the airspaces inside humans within 2 kilometers, bringing death from ruptured lungs and compressive trauma. Further out, people will survive, but with ruptured eardrums. Far more deadly, however, will be the radiated heat from the rising fireball. Anything that heat shines upon will be burnt. Anything that has a line of sight to the fireball will be heated. A few thousand degrees near the epicenter, dropping as distance increases, but still giving third-degree burns at 5 kilometers to unprotected skin. Remember, the fireball is rising, so the higher it gets, the more the area it affects, and the less you can be safe hiding behind a wall or in a ditch, for example. Forget about fallout. Since the fireball didn't touch down on the ground and was an airburst, no surface metal was sucked up to fall down later, irradiated. The danger from radiation is from direct gamma and X-ray absorbed from the initial prompt radiation. You should be safe in 1 to 2 weeks. However, you're now alone. No paramedics will come to treat your injuries from burns or flying debris. No fire department will come to extinguish your burning house. There is no water, no electricity, only the supplies you have, and you have to stay there for 2 weeks. Now, if you live near a national command location like Cheyenne Mountain or a presidential bunker, you're in far greater trouble. Expect, instead of the 10 MIRVs on that missile, for there to be one single 27 megaton warhead fused for a ground burst, with a hardened penetrator on it to dig out the bunker. Expect lethal effects 40 kilometers away, and you will definitely be getting that fallout downwind. That is the reality of a nuclear attack. I think most of us take it for granted that we have all these and that they have all these and that nobody has been stupid enough to launch one of those yet. But the more this war continues and the more desperate people become, whether it's us to save face or whether it's the Russians or giving the North Koreans a nuke, you just never know. 30 fucking minutes. 30 minutes from the Russian mainland to go over the North Pole and detonate here in the U.S. Some serious shit to think about.